So you decided to go gluten-free. Maybe you've just found out you're a celiac, or you have a gluten intolerance, or maybe you like the idea of taking control of your weight. Or maybe your friends have turned to the dark side and it's your time to find your gluten freedom. Well, whatever the case, let me start by telling you, gluten was never the problem. It's what we did to gluten. It's the way we isolated this little protein found in wheat, rye and barley and then used it to increase protein content of regular ground wheat to create high protein flour, high performance flour. A flour created to help with the improvement of baked goods. So basically, we changed the genetics in the way Mother Nature intended it for us. And then we also added pesticides and fertilizers and threw them into the mix. So our poor old friend gluten never really had a chance. We ruined him. For me personally, I was noticing the inflammation in my larger intestine, redness around my nose, my hairline, not to mention the tiredness and the depression. It wasn't until I removed gluten completely from my system, and I mean completely, so no breads, pastas, cakes, cookies, beer, certain candies. I knew the only way I could do this well without setting myself up for failure was to clean up my cupboards, removing all forms of gluten, starting with cooking my own fresh ingredients, cooking on my own meals, and then focusing on all the foods I could have instead of the ones I couldn't. Initially, I thought I was setting myself up for a death sentence, when in fact, I was going to gain my life back. I dropped around 20 pounds in weight with additional exercise and supplementation. I lost the redness in my face, my larger intestine wasn't creating this overhang, and I got my energy back. I felt great. This was all just from becoming a conscious eater. I realized that if I removed the idea of comfort food from my thoughts and made it purely functional, I could really heal myself and most ailments I was suffering. However, I didn't miss that feeling associated with eating certain breads and comforting goodness, and rather than using a whole bunch of processed flours and grains to come up with a recipe, I wanted to work towards something that felt and looked a little more nourishing. So I developed a bread that was loaded with seeds and nuts and oats and was super easy to make and packed with goodness and very filling. A couple of pieces toasted with your favorite, toppings, and makes for a great snack or breakfast. I like to call it manna or manna bread, bread from the gods. Let's go bake.